morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the silence of the forest, the silence of the woods, the silence of the stream, and the silence of the morning. I was just listening to a devotion speaking about silence and how important it is. And I loved this term and this phrase, we need to fast from noise. And I said, man, that's a great way to put it. Fasting from noise, and the guy who was giving the devotion, he said, I love to dive into the deep end of my pool and just hear nothing and just be enveloped in the coldness of the water and the silence in the midst of that. And I said, man, that's pretty great. I don't have a pool. So he had also said other places to go were just the silence of the forest and a walk in the forest. And I said, yep, that's certainly something that I can appreciate and do and be a part of. And so that's what I decided to do. I generally take walks in the morning and listen to a podcast or a book or something like that. And this morning I am listening to nothing except the sound of my feet against the ground and the birds, the wind through the trees. There's some crickets that are still doing a few things here and there. And the point of the devotion was to talk about the silence and how we need silence in our lives so that we can not only hear from what God, hear what God has to say to us, but also to let the silence quiet our restless minds and our restless hearts. And we live in a world that, just kind of flip around here before I get to the noise of the street over there. We live in this world, as you all know, that continually surrounds us in noise. Now, some of that is good noise, right? When you're with your family, when you're with your friends, when you're singing, worshiping, like that's all good noise. And then there's all this other noise that just kind of happens in the background. And hold on, just take, yeah. That bird in the background is adding to he's fueling the fire here. And so anyway, there's all this noise in the background of our lives that gets in the way. And the importance of fasting from noise, and we may actually dig a little deeper into this topic in the coming weeks and months, but the importance of fasting from noise is that it allows our minds to rest a little bit, and it allows our hearts to slow down and to take a breath and to just breathe and let God speak. And I think a few weeks ago we were devotioning on Psalm 23, where he leads me beside still waters, and he anoints my head with oil, and he just slows me down. And so today, I'm not sure this is going to be a long one unless I really start to think about this, but the thought of just stopping and slowing down and standing beside this stream here is a good thought. And so how do you put this into practice in your life? And I generally find that mornings are the best time to be able to develop this practice, unless you want to do it at the end of the day, which is kind of nice. 10, 15 minutes of silence before you go to bed, or kind of after dinner. I've been able to, the last couple of nights here in New Jersey, it's been like really cool at night, so I've been sleeping with the window open and just letting myself go to sleep to the sounds of the crickets and the katydids and all of the night noises that happen. And it's such a beautiful, beautiful way to go to sleep. I'm just trying to see if we can catch a little. Yeah. Here's another little silent spot. Now, in silence, there's two ways to experience silence. One is complete and utter silence. But I also find that, being near a river like this, hold on, I don't want to fall in here, but like this, this, right, you hear this? Just this little bit of noise kind of, it's almost like God speaking to us through his creation and just letting us settle into his reality as opposed to the reality that we force ourselves into every single day. Yeah, it's soothing, it's calming. And it's not silence, but it's comforting. It slows us down. It lets us interact with the Father a little more. And almost lets us experience his creation a little bit, I guess is one way to put it. But I love that kind of silence too, that kind of silence where it's not silent, but it is. And yet God can speak to us through nature, through the babbling brook, as my grandmother used to say. She would love saying that the brook is babbling and who knows what it's saying, but I love the thought of that. Anyway, I know I'm rambling a little bit, but it's nice to ramble because it lets your mind just kind of open up and think, One of the points of the devotions was when we're in our silence, it allows us to hear and almost see the truths of the Father and the truths of God, and it kind of helps us take away the deception that we have in our own lives with each other and with God, and it allows us to focus in on maybe some of the stuff that we should be getting rid of in our lives. And this devotion also quoted this thing called, that was a quote from Tolstoy, and it said, most people want to see the world change, but they don't want to change themselves. And I'm butchering it a little bit, but that was kind of the point of it. And so the only way that we can change ourselves is to realize what needs to change. And the only way that we can realize what needs to change is to spend time with ourselves and change it. And it's not, this practice of silence, this practice of fasting from noise, it's not an overnight. It's not, I did 15 minutes and that's it. No, it's a gradual process. It's a long process, changing from, this habit of noise all the time to a habit of silence in the midst of the noise, in the midst of our lives. And so we have that back there, which was that babbling brook. And then we get to this type of silence where you can come down and hang by the water and just be. And it's kind of awesome, right? There's no current here. Yeah. It's kind of nice. Anyway. So today, I encourage you, find a place like this. I got lucky today. And I was able to stop for a minute and experience it with you and be a part of it. And so today, find some time for silence. Find some time for stopping and letting God speak and letting Him be a part of it all, and then letting the truths of the Father seep deeper into your consciousness. Amen. Amen. Okay, enjoy the day. Enjoy the silence. It sounds like a song. And if you want to join us on this journey, please do. Head over to joindavesband.com. Get involved over there. There's tons of devotions there. There's Bible studies. There's just a lot of stuff that draws us closer and closer to Jesus. And that's the point of our community, is to just find daily ways to be drawn closer and closer to Jesus. And so there's a community of folks that are praying for and with you. And there's resources to kind of help your daily faith walk. And there's some great worship and some great music to get involved with as well. So head over to joindavesbandtoday.com. So joindavesbandtoday.com, and that'll give you kind of a sample of what the site is. There's a whole bunch of kind of snippets of the site there, and then from there you can click on a button and you can join us at a bunch of different levels, depending on what suits your budget and how involved you want to be. Alrighty, so thank you guys. Thanks for being a part of this and being a part of the silence today. Okay, today go find some silence. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.